We have all seen YouTube videos that are totally cringy. Hi, my name is Morgan and I'm a YouTube strategist and I teach people how to use video to grow their businesses online. I have multiple YouTube channels with over 500 videos, and so over the years I've definitely learned the mistakes that new YouTubers make when it comes to their first videos. So I'm going to teach you all of these tips so that way you can avoid them in your first YouTube videos. So let's dive right into it. These first mistakes that I'm going to talk about are pretty simple, but they have to deal with the look and feel of your video. So the first mistake is having bad lighting. A lot of times I see in people's very first videos, they will just sit in front of a camera and start talking. They will use the fluorescent lights that are in their house, or they might be outside, or whatever. But whatever it is, they aren't thinking about the lighting when it comes to their first videos. And how you are lit in your video really does make a difference in how you look. Now, the thing that you need as a new YouTuber just to have good lighting is a window. And I've said this time and time and time again, but natural lighting coming from a window is some of the best lighting that you can have. It's so beautiful. It's really soft on your face. So all you need to do is find a window, open it up so the light comes through, and then face the window. Don't have the lighting behind you because you're not going to be illuminated. You're going to be backlit. Face the window, put your camera in front of the window, and off you go. The next mistake is bad or distracting audio. While you may not have to have the fanciest camera in the beginning, you want to make sure that your audio is really crisp and clean that people can understand. Sometimes people will film in a noisy room. There's a lot of background noises. They'll go outside and it's just picking up all of this different audio and it's really hard to focus. Or let's say the audio that they have is really quiet, it's muffled, it's just hard to hear. Now there are multiple ways that you can fix this as a new YouTuber. Obviously you can invest in a microphone, but a super easy thing that you can use is you can just use your phone. You can use the voice memo or voice recorder feature on your phone and put that close to you when you're recording and use that as your audio source. It's going to be much better than the one on your camera, and so I would definitely recommend that from the very beginning. All right, the next mistake is distracting backgrounds. So some people might record outside and there are cars driving by or people walking by. So just pay attention when you're recording your videos about everything about the video, not just how you look, but how everything behind you looks. If it's cluttered and there's too much to look at, or there's bright colors or flashing lights or people, that's going to lead to a bad experience for the viewer. So you want to try to minimize that. Maybe you just record in front of a blank wall. Tons of YouTubers do that and it works great. Or just clean up your area ahead of time. This is the desk that I use every single day, and sometimes it's really, really messy. But I never record with a super messy desk because that just doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good when I'm recording. So I tidy up and here we go. So just make sure that you're paying attention to what is in the background of your video, especially if there are things or people or animals or creatures that are moving in the background. All right, the next mistake that I see new YouTubers making in their first videos, and this is so painful, but it's not looking directly into the camera. And this is so common, not just on YouTube videos, but basically any online video, whether it's an Instagram story or you're FaceTiming your friends or a Zoom call. Anytime there's a camera where someone can see themselves, it's our natural tendency that if it has a screen where we can see ourselves, obviously, that you look at yourself instead of looking at the camera. So many people have cameras that have flip screens, or they're recording on their phone and they're just flipping it so they can see themselves right there in the display. So even though it may only be a few inches difference from where the lens is to where the monitor is, either on your camera or your phone, it makes a huge difference because the majority of the time you're gonna be looking just slightly to the side and you're not engaging with the viewer that way. You're just looking at yourself, which again is natural tendency, but you really want to avoid that at all costs and focus on the lens. All right, the next mistake is not having a hook at the beginning of the video. And a hook is something that you say or do at the beginning of your video that hooks the attention of the viewer and makes them want to watch more. For YouTube, it is very, very common for your audience retention to drop off within the first 30 seconds of your video. And there are multiple reasons for this. Maybe someone found your video and they clicked and then they realized real quickly,
oh, this wasn't what I was looking for at all.
Or maybe you just start talking and you're not getting to the point, so they move on. on. So that's why you want to have a hook that really grabs their attention, makes them interested, and makes them want to keep watching. Now, the next mistake that I see is having way too long of intros in the video before you actually get to the meat and potatoes of the video. Sometimes people really go overboard with introducing the video, talking about themselves, talking about the video, talking about the why the video is important, talking about who knows what. They'll just ramble and ramble and ramble, and they won't actually get to the main point of the video. And you have to remember that the majority of people who are finding and watching your YouTube videos and just YouTube videos in general are probably not familiar or subscribed to you. They're coming to you because they probably found you through a YouTube search or it was recommended. So whatever hooked them at the beginning, whether it's the title or the thumbnail, they want that. They don't want a big rambling intro about who knows what. They want whatever you promised that you were going to tell them. So just get to the point and tell them what you were going to tell them. All right, the next mistake that I see in most people's first YouTube videos are too long of branding bumpers. Now, what is a branding bumper? A branding bumper is basically a video that you put in all of your videos, and it probably introduces you, your channel name, what you're about. It shows your logo. A lot of big YouTubers have these, and it's something to create consistency with their videos because they have this branding bumper that you see with all of the videos. So naturally, a lot of new YouTubers see this in their favorite YouTubers and they want to include that in their videos as well. But the problem is they're way too long. I've seen some that are 15 seconds long. Again, you want to get to the point of the video. You don't want all this fluff. So if you have one of these bumpers in your videos, obviously you want to have it in the beginning of your video, but you want it to be very, very short. I would recommend less than 5 seconds long. Have it come, show your name, show your logo, show your colors and your music, boom, and then move on. All right, my next mistake that I see in so many YouTube videos is talking about you. And I've actually said this a few times in some of the other tips, but it really is important and it's a big mistake. So when most people start a YouTube channel, naturally they want it to be about them.
I'm cool, I'm fun, I'm awesome, so people of course want to hear from me.
But what new YouTubers don't realize is the majority of people coming to their YouTube channel are probably coming to them from search. They're searching something in YouTube, which is the second largest search engine in the world, and they're finding this person's video because it has the answer to the question or whatever they are looking for. And the problem that new YouTubers make is they don't realize that. Yes, they're making cool videos on different topics, but they think the reason people are coming to them is for them. This is tough love, but people are not here for you when you are first starting out. So be very careful that in your first YouTube videos that you have a point. You have something that you're sharing that other people are looking for or interested in. And yes, it can be from your life experience and it can be about you and you can share stories, but it's not about you, okay? I know it's so hard. It's so hard to accept, but once you accept that, you will have so much more success with your YouTube channel because you're actually going to be providing content that viewers want. And then they'll start subscribing to you. And then you actually will start developing an audience that comes for you because they love you. They don't care what the topic is. They just come for your videos. So that comes much later after you've developed and grown an audience. But when you're first starting, it's the other way around. It's all about the content. All right, my next mistake that I see is rambling in your videos. Not getting to the point can be a huge mistake because people just want the information now. Many people watch their videos on double speed because they don't have a lot of time and they just want to get the information, get in and get out. So a lot of people, they will go on with tons of stories and examples and they'll just keep rambling and rambling and rambling and rambling and keep going and rambling and rambling and rambling. And they're not talking about anything. They're either talking in circles or they're just not getting to the point of the video, which is why I clicked in the first place. And so that is something that you need to be very cognizant of when you are filming and scripting your videos, but also when you're editing. There have been many times where I've had sections of my videos where I'm just talking and talking and talking. And yes, they're all great points and I like them, but when I actually sit and look at the video from an objective perspective of someone who's not me, I realize, okay, I don't need all of these 14 examples. Maybe I just have one. And it might be hard to cut those other things because you're so attached to them. But in the end, the YouTube video will be so much better because it's concise and to the point. All right, the next mistake that I see in many people's first YouTube videos is making it very clear that you're ending your video, right? So if you say, these are my 5 tips on X, Y, and Z, and you get to them, and then you say, okay.
And now, lastly, this is my last tip. Last one. Tip number 5, my very last tip.
That's an indicator to people that, okay, she's done. I can hop off. I don't need to listen to anything else. And I am so guilty of this because it's hard, because if you come from a writing background or just even like a logical way that you're setting things up, you want to introduce what you're talking about, you want to talk about it, then you either want to recap or wrap it up. But for YouTube, that can actually be a detriment to your video because people no longer have an incentive to stay on because you've given them everything that they came for, and most people will then hop off at that point because their time is very valuable. So what you want to do is you naturally want to segue into your outro and make that outro very concise. Again, with these other tips, you don't want to ramble, you don't want to keep going on and on. You just want to get to the point and wrap it up so that way they don't even realize that the video necessarily is ending and they watch all the way to the end. So this goes into my next tip, which is having no call to action in the video. So a big metric that YouTube looks for when it comes to promoting channels and certain videos is channel watch time. So how long is someone staying on your channel and either watching an entire video or multiple videos on your channel? So a very, very easy way to do this is having a call to action, because you're doing a YouTube video because you want to share the information, but you also want the viewer to know what is the next step. So many times it might just be at the end of your video to say, hey, check out this other video right here, which is step 2 of this process. After they're done, give them something else to do and watch. And unless you explicitly call it out, they are not going to do it. So there are times where you're like, check out these other videos all right here, and you just have 4 different videos that show up, and that is good because it's saying, hey, I have these other videos, but it's not crystal clear. It's not saying, hey, watch this one video because. So having a call to action, especially pointing them to a specific video, here's the next step, is very, very helpful because it will help increase your watch time and it will give them something to do. So the same thing goes with likes, comments, and subscribing. Yes, people will do it, but you have to remind them. And research shows that by actually calling out a call to action, like this video, leave a comment down below, or subscribe for more videos, then more people will actually do that. All right, my next mistake that I see in very many first YouTube videos is not utilizing the description box. Many people don't realize that it's really, really important to fill that out and put lots of information for their viewers. Some people will just put a little smiley face or hope you enjoyed this video, and that's it. And that is leaving so much opportunity on the table because there's definitely a few things that you need to do. The first thing is you need to have a little description about what your video is about. And I have an entire video about my entire process for how I write my descriptions and SEO research and really making sure that your description box is up to snuff. So check that out. YouTube and the YouTube algorithm, again, it's just a computer. It can kind of figure out what your video is about, but it's even better if you just tell YouTube what your video is about. All right, the next mistake that many people make on their first YouTube videos is not utilizing tags properly. A lot of people don't have a basic understanding of how SEO works. And again, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And so there are things that you have to do and certain ways you have to do them in order to have a better chance of getting found in the YouTube search results. And one of these are tags. So just like how I talked about, the description is a chance for you to tell YouTube what your video is about. Your tags likewise are another place to do that. And the problem that I see with tags is people either won't put any tags or they'll use tags incorrectly. And again, this goes to not necessarily understanding how tags work, how SEO works, and how YouTube search works. And again, I go into all of the basics about YouTube SEO in that video, so definitely check that out if you are new to YouTube SEO. The next mistake that I see is not using a custom thumbnail. Thumbnails are one of the most important things in grabbing attention to whether someone is going to click on your video or not. And yes, while YouTube does provide 3 stills that they pull just randomly from your video, those aren't really cutting it. A lot of times you will be mid-frame talking or making a weird face, and it's just not good. And people will just use those because that's what shows up and they don't know any better. But you really want to spend a lot of time focusing on a custom thumbnail that you create. And this will probably have graphics. It will have maybe a picture of you. It will have some words that really draws the attention of the viewer. And that will increase the chance of people clicking on your video. Next mistake that I see new YouTubers doing on their videos is they don't respond to comments. This is really bad because engagement is engagement for YouTube, and it's one of the things that they look at to see whether they'll promote your video more. And engagement includes likes, includes comments, includes people doing those call to actions, like subscribing to your channel. So not only do you want to tell people to do that, but it doesn't matter whether you do it or someone else does it. And I'm not saying that you need to just go and spam your video with tons of comments because YouTube's not gonna like that, but it's important that you yourself, you like the comments that other people leave, but you also respond to those comments because again, that basically doubles your engagement rate because you're responding to every single comment. All right, now I have a bonus tip, and this is just such a big mistake that I see so many people doing for their first videos, and this is using spammy practices to get engagement on your videos. We all know what these are: sub for sub, like for like, view for view, comment for comment, engagement pods. These are all horrible, horrible things to do for a new channel. And it's hard because you are brand new and no one's watching your videos, no one's subscribing to your videos. So you think if you just go on a whole bunch of random YouTube videos and you write,
I'm a new YouTuber, let's support each other. If you sub for me, I'll sub for you, sub for sub.
And what ends up happening is you end up getting a bunch of people subscribed to your channel that don't actually care about you or your channel. So they're never gonna watch your videos. They're never gonna like your videos. They're just gonna give it a sub and never think about you again. And this is actually going to hurt you in the end because YouTube's going to see, wow, this person got 100 new subscribers today. And then over time, it realizes that, oh, but these subscribers aren't doing anything. So I guess that wasn't good. So, you know, your engagement rate is just gonna be so much lower than it would have been if you would have focused on actually putting great videos out there, improving the quality of your videos, improving your SEO, and getting people who are actually interested in your content. So please, 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 for if you are a new YouTuber or if you're an old YouTuber and you are still engaging in these things, it's not good. And stop right now. All right, those are the mistakes that I see so many new YouTubers make in their very first videos. Let me know in the comments below which mistake you found the most interesting, and let's be real, which one you have done in the past. I'll even let you know a few of them that I have done. That's all I have for today, and I'll see you next time. So at the beginning of this video, I post a little scenario that, what did I say? I said, Hi, my name is Morgan Stradling, and I am a YouTube Hi, my name is Morgan Stradling, and I am a YouTube Hi, my name is Morgan Stradling, and I am a YouTube Why can I not say this?